All right. Hi, Tim.
Hey,
Hey, Tim.
Welcome back to Netrosis Modern. Last time, oh, buddy. The group done fucked
Last
up.
time we done fucked it up.
Yeah, the group went into a cave, beat up some bandits,
Got way overconfident.
rescued some people, and then did poor scouting. And then put their metaphorical dick in a hornet's nest. That's the analogy I'm sticking with because it's funny. At this point, it is I don't even know what round it is. I mean, it's the top of the round. Vela is unconscious. She has not yet started making death saves. I guess I'm going to have to roll for her. God damn it, Brandon. Having shit to do.
Blame the hurricane.
Fucking, it's all Ian's fault as usual. Okay, so at initiative count 20, everybody in the group will get a message on their phones.
Okay.
I didn't actually write it.
I forgot we had things that function as phones.
Yeah. It's a message from Draziel saying, it looks like things aren't going well. Would you like to use your one free use of humans? Humans is an acronym.
Callie will frantically text back, fuck yes! Oui! Si! Merci! Whatever I needed.
Yes! Yes, whatever! Well, it's not your turn yet, but... So everybody will get that message. Okay, then it'll be Vela's turn. Vela will first death save. Where are death save? One success.
Cool.
All right. Asrin.
Azarin will just respond with why. As
I feel like Azrin should have like a port where it's like the phone's just sort of like docks. So you can just mentally be like, respond. Like
there's no question mark. It's not why. It's shorthand for yes.
Yeah, I was
because robot.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be wouldn't you just type back one then to go robotic?
It might be just one,
Yeah.
but you know, the equivalent is the same.
Yeah. Binary jokes.
As I said, nightmare, there was a 2.
Okay, what else are you doing? Because it is your turn.
It is my turn. All right, let me go back to where I am surrounded by people.
Yeah. Max is down. The panda is still standing. And you know that Vela is down, and the other two, Callie and Mugina, swan dived into the hole over here.
I don't think I can withdraw dragging Max.
No.
So I think I'm going to.
But you also know
bounce
that
some
Max
captains.
is. You do know that Max is a robot, though. He's not technically living.
Well, the panda's living.
Yeah, but can be repaired. Well, sort of. Panda's not really also alive. It can be repaired and come back later, much like the homunculus. So it's.
So the answer is I'm going to bot some captains and go run for the hole.
Okay.
That is what I'm going to do.
That means that when you move, you will have 3-4 attacks of opportunity against you.
Yeah, I know.
If you disengage, there will be none.
But I can't attack if I disengage.
Correct. But
Oh, it's the fourth one because of the kept him at a hole.
yeah,
One,
Okay.
two. Yeah. It's possible.
I mean, technically, they'd enter an adjacent square and then fall. So, like,
yes, which technically means that it's leaving their targeted threatened square. I don't know what your hit points are at, but I don't know if you want to take the chance that 3 bandit captains and a bandit will possibly hit you in one round, and whether or not.
and then survive a fall.
Yeah, then there's the fall itself too.
Monk.
Yeah, that's not till next level.
All right, I guess I'm disengaging and going down the hall. Because I think I have enough movement to do that.
You should have had a. I think you would have had enough.
Yeah, because you have 40 because you're a monk.
And for monks, is the disengage, is that your action or a bonus action, like with rogues?
Oh, technically, I think they could technically
Because if it's a bonus, you could
step
use
of
your
the
action
wind.
for more movement, right?
Yeah. Well, they could use their bonus action to step of the wind as a dash action.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't fall. You can just descend the ladder.
That's true. Like, fuck you.
So, do I have a dash for bonus?
Yeah.
Then
So either way, you would have to spend a key point, because you're gonna have to spend a key point to disengage or dash as a bonus action.
Sure. I will spend that key point.
Which also heals you
It's
It
true.
does heal me.
because of your overlay.
Heals me 1, I believe.
What?
Or I said it heals me 1, I believe, right?
No, it heals you a D4.
Oh. That might
Because
help.
one for one didn't feel strong enough. Because you're only really, I mean, shit happens, but
That's
I
okay.
rolled a 1 anyway.
I will do that.
okay. Yeah, you'll make it down with plenty of movement left. Max. Oh, he's up here. She's up here. It's Max's girl, correct? Even though I have a male. All right, so put you over here because this means that you're back down the hole.
Yep.
Maybe we can at least get better cover down in the basement. Take sniping shots at people.
Hey, consistency is key. Ugina.
Vela is slightly more not dead.
Knocking the gate back down to cover the hole would be an action, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Um. I'm gonna. How far do you think I could make a command from where I'm at? Do you think it would travel the up and then over?
Yeah, no, I would allow it.
Okay.
Because I mean, you know, like you have some technology, like you guys aren't in medieval times, so like you
Yeah.
could have a communicator with.
I say we have communication tech. This
You
is-
probably like in retrospect, you might have already had communicators as a group. I just, you know, it's
Mhm.
I never thought of it, and you guys didn't bring it up, so but it's something that you could easily get in the future.
It's tech that's been in development for at least 150 years.
It's true. 145. Technically.
All right, so
Whenever the hell Lucian was thinking of it.
I'm going to give I'm going to give Sable the command to retreat,
Retreat, yep.
and then I'm going to. I know that we're not on the map, but I'm going to actually begin my retreat.
Okay.
Moving towards the secret entrance we used.
Correct.
Oh, you're down there. You don't. All of the captives are gone. Like you don't hear them like mulling around or anything.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so
Did you-
I'm gonna do that, and then when it comes to Sable's turn, she's going to disengage, take the 30 feet to go back, 10 feet down the ladder, and then drop.
Drop. Okay. Okay. Looks like it looks like a D6, but it's not a D6. So it takes 7 damage.
Okay.
From default.
Okay.
Can't remember how high that ladder was.
30. It's 30-foot drop. Oh.
Sorry, from where the panda was, or the ladder itself is 30 feet.
The ladder itself. So from
Okay.
this up here to down there is 30 feet.
Yeah. So it should have been 20 for the panda.
I have no idea what's going on up there.
It's understandable.
Some
Yeah.
characters that were up there are now not. He re-blacked out the map if that's not visible.
Yeah,
I can't remember if
Tim.
you're sharing the map or not.
shit. No, I meant to do this on a different thing, but whatever.
Engaging narration mode.
Wait, now no longer what's going on.
No.
I could technically leave Ember as a scout, but I don't want to put it in danger. Technically, it just dematerializes, but still.
Um. Callie?
Reply yes. I have it on voice activation mode, so it does that whole like, we see yes, what are you doing here? Send it.
Whatever you're sending, send it quick.
And then I will also retreat back from this space.
Okay.
Using my movement, I'm gonna keep the ladder in view, and I will ready. Where is it? I can use my movement and then hold an action, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just see which my short bow. I will have ready to go to like plunk anybody coming down the ladder. As soon as I see an enemy on the ladder, I'm gonna let fly with the short bow.
Okay.
Although I think Eugene also closed the gate, didn't you?
No, I was going to actually have Sable knock down the gate and then stand on it.
Oh.
But
you will hear yelling about guard the gate and get archers guarding the entrance, and you're screaming about how the captives have escaped and make sure that these fuckers that attacked us don't escape, and blah 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 blah. Lots of screaming around.
So they know the captives are gone?
Yeah.
So somebody must have spotted them.
I mean, they're not exactly trained in fighting or doing anything. They're merchants and craftspeople.
But I'm just saying that means somebody must have had eyes on where that secret entrance is, or nearby it at least.
All right, back at the top, you will hear confirmed. So I'm going to pull out of initiative. I mean, if you want to try to run through raining arrows, then that is your prerogative. And I won't stop you. But the message would be like, bunker in place.
Yeah, I mean, if we know what's incoming, then yeah.
Bunker in place, support is incoming.
Vela's still in the open.
Yeah.
And hemorrhages.
This is going to be real annoying because so on your phones, you will get root from one. You will get. I wrote this out because it's too funny. 30, 29, 28, 27. Captain, what is that? 26, 25, 24. That's a laser dot, you numbskull. 23, 22, 21. Yeah, I know that, but why is it in the middle of camp? 20, 19, 18, 17. Wait, that's a good question. Why is there a laser dot in the middle of camp? 16, 15, 14, 13. I think it's coming from up there, Captain. 12, 11, 10, 9. What the fuck is that? 8, 7, 6. I don't know, but it's falling towards us fast, Captain. 5, brace for impact. 4, 3. Everybody get down. 2, 1. There is like part of the cave actually like less structurally sound parts of the cave actually collapse as something hits. There's like that deafening quiet, and then like people start screaming, and I have to roll a couple of these. Oh no, that's unfortunate.
That's 3.
Oh, nice.
Or actually, who you're rolling for. So.
Well, there's 2 people up there. One is a robot, and it's complicated. And then, like I said, there's that like deafening quiet, and then like screams of pain, and then you'll hear, drop your weapons. You have 15 seconds to comply, and then like, fuck them up, boys. And a firefight breaks out. It's the best that you can understand it, as like heavy cannons start just blasting away. It only goes on for about 30 seconds, and then you'll get a notification on your phones about shit, I had this worded too. Threats have been eliminated. You should be able to evacuate. And then you'll hear like another blasting sound, and the blasting like a rocket as something blasts off again. Steam rocket. Something it leaves, whatever it was. And then there really is, now there's just silence above you.
Should we go up to see if we have to recover Max and Bella, or should we go out the cave?
My thought was the first one. I'd rather, if we can get them, and I want to know if that's possible, rather than leave and wonder. I say, hobbling around on my 1 hit point.
Sure, I forgot you had 1 hit point.
Oh wait, no.
Oh yeah.
Somebody healed me for something, so I'm at 6. I think. Actually, no, I don't think they did. I should be at 1. I think I just forgot to change it when I fell. So
Right. Because I think you only took like 14 damage from the drop.
yeah, so it wouldn't have killed me outright, so I was able to use Relentless Endurance. But yeah, I'm start like go up, poke my head up, look around, see what I can see.
1 second.
If in fact I can even like the gate is still there and not like blocked by rubble or something. Probably should have looked at that first.
Yeah, 1 second. All right. Because I come up with funny ideas on the fly.
So there's a huge megaton style crater in the center of the fort now.
Probably should be bigger, but whatever. All of the bandits are dead. I just don't feel like Xing all of them out.
I mean, the scale on it does say it's 100 meters across. So.
I don't think the entire base is 100 meters.
Yeah, I know. But
I can change it. I can make it bigger. Yeah, so you go up, and yeah, there is a crater where whatever it was landed. You see around that crater there are a ton of bandit corpses. You see some that are, like down here, that are on the parapet, or just they're not parapets, whatever these sides are. Blasted. There's giant scorch marks all over the place, but all of the bandits have been killed. Vela, if you go check on Vela is actually stable.
Oh, good.
I think technically 1 hit point. I'm going to close back because we're out of initiative.
so yeah,
Max is also at 1 hit point. Where did I put you? There you are.
So lunch then?
You will get a notification to be like, Vela has used her 1 free resurrection as per section 19 subsection B III, where every member shall be granted 1 free resurrection type spell. Grade of the resurrection spell is up to the contract holder. For future resurrection spells are to be charged to the resurrectee at the time of resurrection. Note that this resurrection is different from section 27 subsection RI's accidental death from faulty machinery resurrection.
Because one's our stupidity and the other is malfunction at the
For the animus.
Right.
Okay.
So shall we rest up first? Since, well, probably not right here, but somewhere nearby.
This is some very thorough work.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that other corporations are really moving behind the scenes to fuck Draziel over, because he should be like a billionaire. The tech he's got going on.
You will then get a message be like, according to section 17, subsection CI, every group may utilize heavy unmanned Magitronic assault neosteel system, henceforth known as humans, a total of 1 times for free. And then in subsequent uses, each member shall be charged no less than 1,000 gold pieces. Price may vary and is up to the contract holder.
Noted.
Time to start getting them side hustles going, peeps.
Do you think we should check their office for any clue on this bandit crew before we evacuate?
I mean, if you can spot anything, is this horrible?
So you're going to search the camp?
At least where there isn't giant.
Right. I mean, not the crater. That's obviously, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there'll be just basic equipment. Up here is actually the leader, the bandit captain.
Mm-hmm.
You will. What's your investigation? Either you're passive or you can roll if you want to, depending on how good your investigation is. Anybody who wants to search can.
Passive.
Is this just like a quick search? Or are we taking like...
Love. Well, Regina finds it, whatever it is.
Because if it's taking a while, I'd like to spend hit dice, but if it's not taking long, then...
Well, you can use a short rest. Well, because you're not really doing anything super strenuous if you're just kind of walking around and poking at stuff. I'll allow a short rest if you want. Consistency is key. Falcon, you'll search around and you won't find anything of value as far as you can tell. Just general probably like inventory manifests from people that they've raided or whatever. Mujina, you will actually find in a in the desk. I don't even know if there is a desk. I didn't make this map, so we're saying there's a desk. Actually, is that? Oh, that's a hatch. Ha! Fuck it. There's a hatch there. You didn't. Mujina nailed it. I'm really good at this. You'll find that hatch.
Look, a hatch.
And inside is like a secret, like it was under a rug and like a bookshelf or something, like a light shelf. Inside there will be a desk, and the desk you'll find a lot of sales of human goods to other organizations that you haven't heard of. You'll see on the top of it, you will see a more recent note that is written that says, dead or alive, I don't care. just take care of them. And it's from somebody named D, like the letter D. There's say 50 gold piece gem, an agate gem. I think that's a type of gem.
Mhm.
And some bottles of pricier alcohol, probably some wine. Let's say 2 bottles of wine and 3 bottles of, say, whiskey that seem kind of better or higher quality.
You said 2 wine, 3 whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, I never gave you guys a loot thing for this today.
Yeah, you did. I'm filling it
Did
out
I?
right now.
Oh, I did. Okay. I couldn't remember. Okay.
Is
So,
there
2 bottles of
anything
wine,
that
3
we
whiskey,
could
and the agate.
use to start
Oh,
bringing
no.
all the crud that is now ours back to the town?
I can't imagine that Draziel doesn't have a way of transporting goods that doesn't involve us dragging them out one by one.
Hurrah, hurrah. Yeah, you don't see any means. You would actually assume that they could have just had their new captives drag all of the cart or the crates into there.
Yes, but we need to.
But you
Get
don't
all
know.
this
You
stuff.
don't see any means of. There's no carts or over here that you can see. I mean, well, they have carts, I guess. They have these carts down here. But that would be maybe 1 or 2 crates at a time. But you also don't see any. There's no horses.
Why would there be horses?
What else do you use to pull these carts?
They sent them down an elevator over the cliff. Or
Is there any reason why we can't bring the villagers here? It's not really much of a threat here anymore.
Around the dead bodies?
thinking where they could make use of this, but they're excavating their other place. I don't think they're really interested in this
Renovating,
wood.
not excavating.
Or yeah.
This was excavated.
So just to recap, it was 2 bottles of wine, 3 whiskey, the agate, and the note is what we
Yep.
found.
I mean, there's some other paperwork too, but that was the one on top that jumped out to you.
Yeah, I've added those to the loot and noted that they are from the bandit camp.
Bandit keep. Because words have meaning.
We should let Draziel know that we found them and that we have an amount of goods that should make it back to the village, but we do not currently have the means.
I'll just jump on our phone tech shit. Be like, lots of goods still in the basement before too much for us to move. Clearly belongs to the settlers or whoever they are.
Anything the bandits had is now ours.
Those are the rules. Dres will be like, well, that's something you would want to discuss with Reginald, the leader.
Reginald Tresky.
Yep.
Because the carts that were on the road are inoperable, right?
it would have been, when you saw them, yeah, it looked like they were mostly destroyed. I think some of them might have been functional, but they were like flipped over. And
Yeah. But yeah, it's something we can organize with the people.
Oh no, we might
Be
have
right
to
back.
come back to the bandit camp again with big carts. Oh no. I guess it's time to go find the people and escort them back to the city.
okay, yeah, you'll be able to easily find them because, they probably would have climbed up and headed south back to the road so that they could make their way back to the village. So you'll easily be able to catch up with them because they're not walking super fast. Just make sure that Salem didn't want to do anything else before you left.
Take this time, since it is a short rest, I'll just fix up the bear. Who knows?
Okay. Okay. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. Was there anything else you wanted to do before heading out, Salem?
I don't think so.
Okay, yep. Like I said, you'll easily be able to catch up to the dragonkin that escaped. I mean, it's still really early in the morning, so you'll easily make it to back to the Drakenvale village before night. Yeah. Everybody will cheer when, it's very much like in Captain America where, he's like walking all of the POWs back. Except none of you are Captain America. You're the
None of
Howling
us are that
Commandos.
charismatic.
You're the Howling Commandos. Well, he did punch Hitler like 400 times, so certain level of confidence. Yeah, so sorry, my nose is super stuffy today. Oh, goodness gracious. They'll have some people on hand to like help people, the other half of the people will help the captives, former captives, get them to tents and whatnot to get looked at and fed and then Reginald will come up to you and be like, well, I appreciate it. I didn't expect you to take care of it that quickly, but I greatly appreciate you getting our citizens back.
Being honest, sir, we didn't expect to get it done that quickly either.
Some kind of loud explosion. I don't know what you did, but I guess it worked. I'll have more work for you tomorrow morning, but you guys, if you want to rest up, then
Some of your supplies are still in the basement of where we found your people.
okay. I'll handle that. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. Like I said, go ahead, take the night off. I'll have something for you to do tomorrow. And he'll, like salute or something and then walk over and start talking to former captives and whatnot. So is there anything that you wanted to do? It's probably a little before dinner time. So I mean, you still have, a couple hours before long rest, or not even long rest. You have probably more than a couple hours. You have many hours. Is there anything that anybody wanted to do in the village for the night?
Azrin goes and sits down and starts sketching the village.
Okay.
Did anybody use their healing tattoo?
Yes, I believe I did.
I think you also did too, didn't you?
I think so. I keep adding like resource things, and then for some reason Roll20 just anything that's more than 4 of them, like it keeps the first 2 sets that it usually has, and it just ends up getting rid of the other ones on me.
I'm not even that good with it, so I wouldn't be able to have them anyway.
Pretty sure I had it listed before. But yeah, I can refresh those, I believe. See if I have a gold for it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just the I think that would fall under the crafting check to see how quickly you could get them done.
Oh yeah, that's right. So one on me, one on Azrin, and did Mojina use theirs?
No.
That's 2 hours off, so that'll kind of be your night. You won't be able to do the second one because it's normally an 8-hour workday. So you'll be able, you'll because you got a 20, you'll be able to shave off 2 hours. So you'll be able to do it in 6 hours.
Okay, so I'll basically I'll spend that time that's brewing the ink, and then I will reapply that one to Azrin, since it makes more sense to be able to quickly do that with Azrin. Because I'm basically just refilling the etching.
That's true. That's true. Right. Make sure you keep track of the cost.
Since I'm out in the field, is that one full price?
No, that'd still be the normal price. That's the normal price is 25 gold.
Okay.
It's because a potion usually costs 50, so it's like half of that is 25 to craft it, and so you make.
Yeah, because Draziel was covering half the cost only for healing stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I can use this to do other things. I just haven't experimented with it yet. That will be at my own expense.
Oh, that's why you mean it. You probably because you're out in the field, you probably wouldn't cover it right now.
Yeah. Okay. So full 25.
Yeah. at some point during your just so you're doing that. What was Mugina gonna do?
Honestly, probably help Vela fix whatever he named his thing. I don't have anything particularly productive to do at this point. But I can relate to loving a mechanical contraption, so.
Right, Garasu. I
Yeah.
think because it's the infusion. You didn't fucking keep track of it, did you? Of course not. Why would you keep track of anything? Fucker. Yeah, so I think the homunculus servant is like over like a long rest, you can fix it or something.
All right. Well, if he can, well, if Vela can handle it without any assistance, then I'm gonna try to find something to tinker on.
I think probably while brewing the inks, I want to just kind of talk with some of the villagers and stuff too.
Mm.
Just kind of hang out, see how they're doing.
Oh, you know what? If we're in that village, I can assist with rebuilding efforts.
I was gonna ask if, yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'll be a healthy helper, Tim.
Yeah, I think it's during a long rest because Vela still has the heart, the gem heart. During her long rest, she could just craft another homunculus. It's because it's in a fusion, not a class feature like Sable is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she could take care of that during the long rest. Yeah. What crafting skills do you have that you would want to put to use?
Let's take a look. I've got a few. Thieves, tinkers, and smiths. Plus I have, if we're repairing minor things, I do have mending.
You should have 4.
Should I?
Yeah.
I only have 3 listed.
Yeah, because you start with tinkering and thieves and one of your choice. And then when you make level 3, you get smithing for free. Or if you already have it, you get another one.
I think I already had smithing, so I'm gonna have to pick something else. I'll work on that, but in the meantime, thieves, tinkers, and smiths plus mending.
Right.
Carpentry, maybe.
Oh wait, I have a map for that. Don't I thought I did not. Oh, I thought I did. Well, now I'm annoyed. I thought I put the map in here. I guess I didn't.
Ashrin has 2 sketches by side, one of the village as it was and one of the village as it could be or was. You're not certain.
And one as it was will be.
Well, it could have been as it was 150 years ago.
Right. No, I got what you meant. As it was, when they started the rebuilding effort, and then it could be as it was 150 years ago, or it will be when they're done updating and renovating it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you roll me a Smith's tool check? It's not really
Sure.
to see how much of a help you are at the time. At this time.
What is the attribute of choice?
I'm fine with intelligence.
Okay. Not great.
Nice. No, you you're another hand helping, fix, like making nails, and although they probably have nails, but it's repairing anything that they can repair, they would prefer to repair. So anything metal,
Okay.
like hinges and doorknobs and bed knobs and
Gotcha.
broomsticks, and
You're used to making delicate parts for your construct,
Right.
rather than actual like house framing stuff.
Minor muttering to myself, like waste of my talents and hate working in larger medium.
I mean, at some point, throughout the night, you'll see Draziel come, running around, also fixing things.
I'll give him one of these. Just
Like he's got the fucking goggles on his head and like an apron and like a huge tool belt of just a million different tools. Like he runs over and is like helping hammer some stuff in, and then he runs over and then is helping, fix some nails, and then is running over, and like he's just kind of doing everything all over the place.
I'm going to spend the time trying to train Sable to do something that she's never going to be able to do. I'm going to be like, and then you take this piece and you warm it up, and then you mold it like this, and then you just kind of see it like taking its paw and like thump, thump, thump. That's why it's a 10.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Sable can make sandwiches. Just take the meat, put it on the bread, like use the tiny.
And then you
claws,
fold it like this,
and then
you thump thump.
Wires get crossed. Yeah, thump, and then it's a pancake.
Right.
A crepe, if you will.
Right. It's a piece of crepe, if you will.
We'll just toast it in a pan and call it mushu. It's fine.
I grab jeweler's tools as well.
Okay.
That makes sense for all your tiny bits.
Yep.
Azrin just quietly, where they've put all their maps, just quietly puts up
Okay.
the drawings.
Yeah, there's definitely like a headquarters where there's kind of plans of like, oh, this is what we're doing with this area. We're gonna till this land over here and start a farm. Like, there's different plans, and then just in the middle of it, just
tucking it in with the actual like city planning stuff. Like,
Yep.
at some point after I'll say I see you then. As when the ink is ready to refresh your emergency healing.
Azrin will look around, find a spot, find the right spot to sit, or stand wherever you need Azrin to be to properly apply said thing.
I can't remember if we discussed it before. Where would you want the tattoo?
I think
to
it's
be?
just on an arm plate.
Yeah, I figured it'd be like either a shoulder or like bicep, so you can just be like bonus action, and then do
Basically, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'll like, I guess, take a stool and like just sit next to you and just sort of carefully refill in the lines, muttering to myself and finishing off the enchantment. And I think it'd be kind of cool, like when it's
very, very still.
I feel like it's kind of fun to think of like when it's filled, it's like perfectly flush to the surface, so it almost just looks like a decal. It's part of your plating.
Nice. I like it. Cool. Yeah, we'll say that. That'll take the rest of the pre-long rest tonight. Taking a break for. Well, it's probably you probably took a break. You were brewing it, and then you ate dinner, and then they were ready for you, and then
it's like you attend to the process rather than have to be completely absorbed in it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because it's not right.
Like, oh, turn the burners up to this. And okay, that has to boil for an hour. I'll go fucking do something, and then I come back.
Yeah, it has to titrate through this whole process to go into this other thing.
Yeah, you gotta use the mortar and pestle, and you put it in the calcinator, and then it goes into the alembic and retort. And no, wait, that's Elder Scrolls.
I say this with the utmost respect. Fucking nerd. Joe was talking because he passed the.
I actually know how to use those things too.
I'm not surprised. My friend Joe passed the fire academy like last week or the week before, and he I was talking to him yesterday and about stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I was like, yeah, there's like firefighting engineers, like it's a whole thing, and that's pretty cool." And he's like, "Yeah, like there's people that one of the guys has to do like the pressure calculations at like on the spot at the fires." Like it's a whole thing, and he's like sent me a picture of the formula. I was like, stop talking dirty to me. like so I'm like, formulas. like
Talk nerdy to me.
yeah. Yes. I was like, there's gotta be he's like, yeah, he has a grease pencil. I was like, there's gotta be there's no way in hell you could just put that in like a spreadsheet or something and have it do it automatically. We're like, well, this is the distance, this is the this is the this, and it plugs it all in and does all the calculations automatically. It's got to be way faster than using the actual pen and paper. All right, so you'll do that. We'll say that Mujina, at some point, you're in your, during your training back in the day, this very nice Nephros visited the city and taught you how to jewel craft.
Fair enough.
Here's a really weird one. Really short, albino, had a weird accent.
Love it.
but had really, really cool crafting skills, which were interesting considering he had 2 claws. Nephros being the lobster people for everybody else.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim. Nephros are the lobster people, one of the races that nobody's played, but was an option technically. And his name is Chowda. Yeah, you'll do that. You guys will, while eating dinner, you'll see, Drazio like talking to Reginald and then kind of going over schematics and discussing stuff, and while he's eating stuff, and then once he's done like chowing down whatever it is, he runs back off and keeps going. Max is just standing there.
Max is in self-repair mode.
Like she doesn't know what to do, so she's just.
I feel that.
Just kind of people watching, like literally just standing. At some point, somebody's like, "You need to move out of the way. Like we gotta trash some stuff," and she's like, "Okay," and like walks over and like standing next to a wall, and like people are, and then gets moved because they had to like put something up there. They have to put some boards in, and then she has to move again. And,
hey, could you just like hold your hand out for a sec? Yeah, thanks. That's great. Just like hanging a set of tools like that you're gonna need.
Happy to be of assistance. All right, yeah, that'll finish up your day, and then you'll get your long rest. So Vela will recraft her homunculus. Hooray! And then
I get back my sudden manifestation and relentless endurance.
Yep.
And my hit dice.
Only half rounded up, I think.
With the hit dice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll get 2 back.
Yeah.
Among other normal long rests type things. Yeah, you'll get up. It's pretty bustling. It's definitely a lot more bustling than like 2 days ago when you were here. Now that, there's a bunch more people now. You see a lot of people that you kind of walked back with, that they're kind of up and about doing stuff, helping. So yeah, it's definitely bustling now. It's still a pretty big village. It's only like 50 or 60 people in a village that can fit hundreds. So it's still, but in the areas where people are working, it is, everybody's busy doing something. There's, there'll be a group, chow for breakfast. Okay, bye, Curtis. Leave and roll 20. All right.
I'm still in roll 20.
You disappeared for a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
Or are you?
Nope.
There'll be breakfast, so you guys can go eat some breakfast. Once again, Reginald is kind of having discussions with people. Like some of the people that, he's telling some of the people that were rescued, like, take your time. You just got back. We need. Well, it's important for us to get the village up and capable of housing more people. It's more important for you to rest. So it's not as much of a rush.
People to house.
Yeah, there's not that much of a rush, so don't overwork yourself. And then they have craftsmen and engineers and Draziel's in there, like, directing and like discussing with Reginald and discussing what he's doing for the day, and then eating, shoveling food down his face, and then off he goes. Reginald will kind of come over to the table where all of you are probably sitting. And he'll sit down and be like, well, so today's not going to be, well, the next plan isn't going to be as intense as well. I hope it's not as intense. I did not expect it to be that big of a deal.
I'll own some of that, boss.
I didn't expect it.
When I scouted, I didn't see quite that many people. We probably would have gone with a different plan.
Yeah, it happens. I kind of didn't realize that there were many of them. So it's fair. So today I have for you a letter. Many years ago, after we were forced to leave, no, we didn't all. We kind of spread out into the winds, and a lot of people went their own directions. There is but if you head northwest from here, you follow the path, and at some point there would be a branching path to the northwest. So yeah, you follow the path that you followed last night, or 2 days ago. And then there will eventually be a path that splits off to the northwest. You follow that, and eventually you'll come upon the Amethyst Glade. Some of our people, the more nature-oriented individuals, went there and kind of started living there, and then started a circle of druids. So if you could deliver this letter to them so that they know that we're trying to rebuild, and things are safe here for now, if they want to come back, that there is somewhere for them to come back to now. And should take you, it's about 40 to 50 miles, so it'll take you the better part of 2 days to get there. Hopefully nothing terrible happens, like this bandit thing, but it seems like you wiped them out, so hopefully there's not any more.
Yes, we did. Yes. It was a team effort, really.
company wide.
It was a guild activity. It was guild team building.
It do in fact be team building.
I mean, Draz is really good at team building. He'll just build another robot.
I thought you were gonna say he could just build another team.
I mean, he sort of technically.
Theoretically, yes.
Technically, we're both right. Yeah, so if you don't mind doing that, that would be your next. There's not as much of a rush on that one, so you don't have to necessarily leave today. But that's your next task.
Sounds great.
Any questions?
Seems pretty straightforward.
I'm hoping. Well, all right, I'll leave you to it. I got plenty of work ahead of me. Just let me, if you need anything, I'll be around. Just let me know before you leave, whenever that is. So I know that some of our manpower is out. And he'll nod and then get up and take his food and go back to his table and then start talking about a million different things. All right, so you guys you'll finish your breakfast. What do you want to do?
Do we want
Prep?
to head out sooner rather than later, or do we want to do more things here first?
I'm good to go. You good to go?
I think so.
I'm good to go.
Vela's wandering out of the village in the wrong direction. Wait, hey.
Right. Right.
That's
What
on
letter?
brand.
No, she's probably like on a roof trying to take like a weather vane because she thinks it's cool looking. Eating solar panels. I don't know what the fuck she would do. It's hard to keep track of her.
This is a weird looking cracker. Hey, it's our power supply.
I was wondering why it had a tinkle to it. Cool. All right, so if you guys just want to head out, you can just head out. There will actually be a group of people heading out with horses and carts in the same direction. One would assume that they're going to grab the supplies that are back at the keep. So for the first, because I think it was like 20 miles.
Yeah, it makes sense that we kind of travel with them for a bit.
Yeah, so for the which is the majority of the day, because I think you only travel like 24 miles in a day. That's per the rules. Unless you're driving a super fast Guildhall Mack truck. Or a plane or something. I don't know. You guys got to get yourself a car. It's just a box on wheels. Like we're outside the box, but we're in a box because it's funny. Yeah, so you go with them for 20 miles and then you'll go about another 4 and then have to make camp for the day. You can roll whoever, if somebody wants to roll a survival check to kind of find see what kind of place they can find.
I
That
will.
would be best done by someone else.
I have pretty decent survival, so hopefully.
Nice. Yeah, you'll find it looks like it's actually, I'd already kind of set up little camp area. Has some logs that look like they've it looks like this is a place that people while traveling use, on a regular.
Yeah.
But it was hidden well enough that you had to kind of search around a little bit for it. You're like, all right, well, I'd want to be near, this, and then you're kind of using the same mindset that they had when they set it up. And so you're able to kind of be like, all right, well, I want it to be a little bit further into the woods, and I want it to be, maybe with these trees, and maybe with then, and then you kind of step around a bush, and then suddenly it's just
Like
this campsite that's kind of.
I just had exactly the same thought process
Yeah.
as somebody else happened to.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, oh shit.
And then it will look like that. Camp's all set up.
I'm real good at this, guys.
I got it.
You're like, well, you're just throwing out fake magic words.
I used my witchly powers. It's like really Ember was 50 feet away and was like, oh, there's a spot right here.
There's and on a tree, it's Group Fabius was here.
Right, yeah.
You're put something
Look, guys, I made it. Why does it say Campground of Tiffany Jones? That's my pen name.
That's my pen. Tiffany Jones. Good old Tiffany Jones. That's my human name. That's my Anglo-Saxon name.
I usually go by Callie, but that's my Orcish name.
Right. Tiffany Jones is my Anglo-Saxon name. Yeah, no, so you'll be able to set up camp. It's very well hidden, so you'll go through the night with no issues. You get up the next morning, pick up your camp. Sorry. And then you'll be able to head out on your way. It's only about another 5 hours. So probably by the time it's getting to you probably stop for lunch, and then an hour after that. Actually probably short into the day, probably an hour into the day, you'll find the turnoff point. And then you'll travel for a couple hours, and then you'll take a lunch break, and then you'll travel for another hour or two, and then it's even more dense. The trail goes right into this really dense thicket of woods. And you see a lot more animals walking around. There's deer and squirrels and rabbits and other. There's no moose, because I don't want to make you fight a moose.
No moose.
I don't want you to get your ass kicked by a moose. That
would be unfortunate.
You're like, we don't have enough money to call in the giant robot again. It's it'd be even worse if it called it in and it got its ass whooped. You're like,
what is this?
Text from Draziel. What's up with the machinery? I'm not getting any signal.
Right.
One crazed moose just wild-eyed in the midst of a bunch of rubble.
Just wearing the robot. And that's how the that game started. The fuck. What Aloy is the main character.
Horizon.
The-
Horizon.
yeah. Yeah. It's just a moose. A moose gets like incorporates robotic parts into its being, and then that's how it starts. It just
We would blame Bella for this.
oh, for sure, 100% her fault. She'd be like, did I do that? But yeah, it's definitely a lot more heavily populated with animals, you know. Like you probably saw occasional animals when you're walking down the road, but you know, probably within the past hour or two of being close to here, there's definitely a larger presence of wild animals that you can actually see. You will get to kind of like right inside the thicket. I think I'm using the proper terms. I'm not great with that. And there's actually like this kind of webbing of vines across. And from somewhere, you will hear, who goes there?
Look at
Who is
Callie.
Who is the heck horseman? Yeah. I'll just
my
sort of
strong
announce
suit.
myself.
Bella steps up.
Oh no. No.
Bonjour!
Let's not do that.
Je m'appelle Gaetan Caliste Haragos. Pleasure to meet you. We are actually here on behalf of one Reginald Treskier, gentleman who is recovering the Drakenvale village, and sent us to address this letter to you, letting you know that the area is safe for occupation should any of your people decide they would like to join them there. And I'll present the letter. These are my companions. This is Bella. Don't know her last name.
Bella doesn't have a last name as far as I know.
Okay. This is Azrin.
As in just 10 pals.
This is Semogina. And the fellow at the end there is called Max.
It's a
I don't know what form they would currently be in.
Max's orc form is a woman. Because I decided.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a couple days. I didn't know if they had changed.
No, they didn't change. They're currently taking the form of a woman. Because that's the form they like when being a fighter. Okay. I assume that's for our leader and not for me in particular.
Yes, whoever was the head person of your enclave is.
Sorry, it would specifically have the name of Erewant on it. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Apparently it's Gaelic.
I would definitely need to say the spelling first.
That's according to the internet though. So
Right.
Aerouant.
Yeah, no idea. Given that it's Gaelic, it could be it could be Ewan, you know. It's like
Tim, obviously.
Capital letters are
It's Tim.
silent.
it's definitely
It's
Tim.
Tim. It's Tim, obviously.
It's because in Gaelic, vowels mostly change the inflection of the consonants they surround, but don't have any voicing themselves.
Yeah. I'm proficient. Okay, yeah. I'll take you to them. Give me a minute. And then you hear some like, actually, you won't hear any shuffling. And like a minute and a half later, the vines will start receding. And there's a nice, the pathway continues. And they will, it'll be a dragonkin in, like robes and has a bow. Actually, probably is in like armor, like leather armor, and has a bow and a sword and whatnot. And they will lead you further into the area. It's probably a couple 100 feet, and then you'll see people sitting around doing nature stuff. Druid, like nature classes aren't my forte. Okay, so
Are we watching a basket weaving class?
for sure. There's like 7 or 8 little dragon kin that are all learning how to make a basket out of like wood and with grass, like long grass. It's a whole thing. Damn it. The person, your escort, will actually bring you over to the person teaching the class, and like bend over and whisper into their ear, and then it's a female dragonborn. She's got blue scales. Very like definitely older. But doesn't have like rough hands. Has hands of like a person who lives in the wilderness and like survives in the wilderness, but not somebody like doesn't have like a bunch of scars from like of combat, from what you can see. But as God damn it. Come on. Yeah. Okay.
Calluses?
Sure. Obviously, I did a whole lot of prep for this game. She'll be like, okay. All right, children, that'll be all for today. Why don't you all go show your parents the lovely things we've made today? And the kids are like, okay. And like they all like grab, like they're in varying degree of completion. Like one kid has like 3 sticks. That has like way too much.
Just like a wad of twine around the middle.
Yeah.
Look at all Blair Witch rather than basket.
Exactly. Look at that.
It's lovely.
It's a good start. It's done. Oh, you're doing great. She will stand up, and be like, well, if you'd like to come into my my tent, we can discuss whatever it is you're here for. And she will start walking towards a bigger the gentleman that brought you in here will like nod to her and head back the way he came.
I'll be 1 second. I need to run to the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
Too many copies.
Too many copies. That's fair. So I hope your day's going well, Tim. It's not guacamole, that's just cubed avocado. That's funny.
I'd like to say, Tim, that we're gonna edit this part out for your own benefit, but we're not.
We aren't, I'm not. I'm the one that
the
does all
royal
of the.
we.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm the one that does all the not editing.
It's true. You work really hard on this. That's not a slight. This actually is something you maintain.
I do at least put it, the intro and outro. With the best outro song ever.
Netrosis.
Oh, that should be the intro. No. Welcome to Netrosis. A world at the edge of space. Netrosis modern. Okay, so she'll bring you to, it's kind of a bigger tent. She'll lead you in. I mean, there's her sleeping area, but there's also, a table and some chairs. And she'll invite you all to sit. And she'll make some soup, and by that I mean tea. It's on Twitter. There's a huge fucking thing about is tea soup. So
Only if you leave the
Broth at
bits in.
best.
I was gonna say only if you leave the bits in, because otherwise it's a broth.
So this is a whole. I pointed out that soup was invented before tea, so soup predates tea, so tea is soup. It's the not all teas are soups, but not all soups are teas.
Right.
It's the
Wiccan's a pagan, but not all pagans are Wiccan.
right. Well, it was first into the whiskey scotch thing. Like all scotches are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are scotches. But yeah, no, she'll get some tea brewing, or some water on, and get you guys some nice handcrafted wooden cups. And so what brings you here today?
And I'll kind of reiterate that we're here on behalf of Reginald Treskier. A group of your kin, from what I understand, are looking to rebuild the Drakenville village. They're working on it and sent this letter to let you know what was going on and invite any of your people that would like to come. To let you know that it is safe to return there. Should you?
Okay.
And I'll just hand it over.
She'll take it and she'll sit down and read it. And then fold it back up, put it down there. Okay. We would have to discuss this with, I'll call together a meeting. And anybody who would want to go. Are you headed back to Drakenville Village?
Yes, we're helping them with a number of tasks at the moment.
Okay. Well, I will bring this up tonight. You're more than welcome to stay. And I mean, if people want to leave, then it'll take a couple days for them to get packed and whatnot. But if you're willing to stay, that way they would have some kind of escort, since you're obviously some kind of adventure types.
Yes, we'd be very happy to do that.
That would be great. I don't know how many people are going to want to go, but definitely willing to bring it up tonight during our group dinner. You are more than welcome to explore the grove. Anywhere that's covered or protected by vines is sacred, so please don't go there. But other than that, I kind of what's ours is yours. We're communal, so we do kind of share everything. I mean, we do have our own private spaces, but we kind of it's the good of the group. Yeah. And then she'll get up and pour tea for anybody who wants tea. Max will turn down the tea.
Azrin also will turn down the tea.
Sable will
This-
ask for some, and then I'm just gonna be like, no.
This goes against Falcon's religion. Is turning down tea.
It does.
You're like, this is role playing. See that is quality role playing. No, I would hate tea. It's the worst.
I just love it. The friggin' robot panda bear though. Mugina.
Azrin does not consume.
Right. So what if you show while you're kind of drinking? So what have you? How does it look there already?
Azrin probably has a sketch,
Yeah.
an extra sketch, right?
Much
Sure.
like this.
We'll say.
Just recreates it from memory. Oh, let's say I did all these strokes in this order.
If you want me to roll,
No, that's fine. You probably had some sketches and then you're finished. So product. So you're like, oh, kind of like this, but with a little more this and then a little more of that, and like kind of like that. It does not look as bad as I expected it to look. The village, not your art, of course. That would be terribly rude of me.
This is less terrible than I thought. And the village looks pretty nice.
Take it too. Oh. Are we fighting now? No, it's fine. I was there when we had to evacuate, so I'm surprised it's still that the majority of it's still standing. So that's the word is escaping me. Not quite refreshing. Like it's good to know. It's good to know that it's still, mostly still together. I mean, nature, life finds a way. So, but it's good to know that it's not going to be as much work as it could have been. So what other stuff have you individuals done for the village? If you're kind of, is this the first task you've done, or?
Well, we went to a bandit keep, and we saved some villagers that they had held captive, and then turned the place into a desert. We're gonna let nature take its course there.
Accurate description. There are no more bandits left in the camp. The camp is mostly still a solid structure.
Most of the outer walls are still there now. And there's a great new fire pit right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Well,
Cave underneath.
Really a multi-purpose area.
Right. Fighting pit, fire pit, swimming pool, depending on how heavy it rains, Swimming pool. Oh, well, that's nice of you. I wouldn't have expected people not directly involved to go that much out of their way. It's good to know that there's still some people that don't hate us.
Not a big fan of hate.
I am indifferent about hate.
Shh. Don't mind her.
It hardly seems, fair to categorize everybody because of the decisions of a few.
I agree, but thankfully it was long enough ago that most people forget. I guess positive and negative is because it was so long ago, most people forget the why. They just remember that they don't like us. Because stories get told and retold, and then things get taken out or added in and blown out of proportion.
I have heard tales that are of the sacking of Dragonvale.
What? Sorry, can you say that again?
I have heard tales that are of the sacking of Dragonvale
It wasn't great.
from my parent.
Mm. I think I'm familiar with your kind. I kind of haven't gone anywhere for many decades. And like I said, at the time we had to defend ourselves. But I think once people's anger kind of subsided, none of them wanted to live here anyway, so they just kind of wandered off. And I found people and started this grove and have been maintaining it. And it's gotten more and more of our kind, and so it's kind of.
It is a lovely road that you have built for your people.
Thank you. Well, I should get back. Like I said, you are all more than welcome to kind of explore. We're not huge. We're self-sufficient, but there might be a class or two of some kind going on, because a big part of staying on top of things is passing on knowledge and skills to anybody who wants it. And so, while it may seem that weaving baskets is not super important, everybody can use a basket, but it trains people to, the people that are enjoy crafting. It gives everybody a little bit of experience in different things, and then they find something that they either like or are really good at. Hopefully there's a cross of they like it and they're good at it. And then generally that person goes on to do whatever that is. So anyway.
Gina vibes with this.
Do you have any questions or?
No, thank you for your time. We will look forward to looking more around your grove and wait to find out who may choose to come with us.
Okay. She'll stand up and then open the flap of the tent. Like, well, finish your tea and then I have things to get to. But it was nice. It was nice meeting you, not knowing. It's nice knowing you. She just turns it. She's like that fucking turtle from the first Kung Fu Panda movie. She turns into like a fucking cloud or something and disappears. Like, bye. You motherfucker. I'm not in charge now just because you clouded. Or butterflies or whatever the hell it was he turned into. I don't remember. And I think he was a tortoise. Yeah, but she'll walk off. So you'll take as long as you want to finish your tea, and then what do you guys want to do?
If they're like training and things, then
Yeah.
might see what's on for classes and training stuff.
Okay. There are there's kind of three, if we're going following the plan of how a 4th edition was and how 1 D&D is going, this is kind of more primal. So I would say that there's an area where there's, kind of they're not necessarily like in as far as training goes, like there's houses kind of on the, and tents and whatnot in the perimeter. And then there's different training areas. There's, like some classes about, different kinds of plants and, what's edible, what's not edible in the area. And kind of they're also using it as a means of seeing if anybody kind of has an affinity for, druidic magic. Like, well, if you wanted to make it grow, you could try this. Like like in No Way Home, Ned going like, I got the magic in me. Type of thing, I mean, they're way more subtle and caring about it. It's not as ham-fisted as I'm making it sound. But and there's like some kid that they're like, oh, like cool. What if I did? And then like like a little, they plant something and then they do something and then like a flower pops out of the place and they're like, oh, I made the flower grow.
I'm gonna
Like,
cheer
yes,
that. That's love that.
You did. And what kind of flower is it? And then like, it's the whole, learning experience. And, it could be, technically, yes, you can eat it, but you don't want to eat too many of them. But also it could be used for, these kinds of poultices and this kind of, colors for, if you're trying to dye things, like, and then there's a class on Boyer fletchering. There's people, there are people that are like combat training, like there's an archery, like a small archery range, so people have arrows and bows and arrows and they're shooting at targets and practicing, and some of them are in like melee combat, and then there's another kind of bigger pit where there's bigger, beefier people kind of throwing each other around and like obstacle courses. And but as far as crafting, there's kind of a small class of like, so there's like there's smaller kids that are trying to like make a longbow. That's like,
I'm gonna find where the littles are.
There's littles everywhere. There's like each group has like the ages range. It's not like, oh, this is for the this is because it's kind of more like an ongoing, like a rotating class, or like it's
Gotcha.
it's like always, it's like a continuous thing. Like every week we do Boyer Fletchering, and anybody who wants to come can come, type of
Got
thing.
it.
So, and then if somebody wants to do it more often, then they could do it, but it's,
See, I was gonna find some kids for Sable to play with, and then I was going to kind of try to drop into one of the classes. Nature is one of the things I actually have a decent score in.
yeah, but that's already something you're proficient in.
Yeah.
Yes, but he's learning the tricks and tips for this area.
I mean, I could work on survival. I'm not very good at that.
Or aiming for expertise.
Well, there's no, that's the thing that really irritates me. Well, the next edition, they have like the expertises, which are actually rangers are the experts, but it's any class that gets expertise and a skill naturally.
From what I'm hearing, rogues got gutted.
Not really. The big thing is that I saw a meme about it. It's like, yeah, we got screwed over. You can't use sneak attack on attacks of opportunity anymore. Somebody's like, wait, we can use sneak attack on attacks of opportunity? Like the majority of people never even thought about that as a possibility, so it never mattered.
It's like, yeah, as long as you have advantage. Like,
No, as long as somebody's adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're currently, there's some people making bows, there's some making, kind of whittling out arrows, and there's they're discussing like, making it, they usually make them out of, metal arrowheads versus like bone arrowheads or rock arrowheads, or it's, you use what you can find. If you can repurpose a metal one, then that's better, especially if you can keep it, you can maintain the edge. But if you can't, then like finding a good rock, but those can break. So, but if you can, fashion some kind of a bone arrowhead, then that would also be useful, and that's more plentiful because depending on the animal you use it from, and there's also like, you don't notice until one of the kids like does something and an arrow goes flying off in a random direction that there's like this kind of mesh around the area as like an arrow is like flying off towards like
What's
some other group,
catch?
and then it like hits this like netting that you really didn't see and kind of like sticks and then kind of falls out. But yeah, then there's another one, which is, there's people like training in sword combat, and or it's kind of a couple different, it's effective, it's rangers, druids, and barbarians effectively, but doing different class related things, or things that could be justified as class training. So the barbarians are all doing like carrying logs and climbing over things and throwing each other around, and but also some of them are like, there's probably also an older guy like talking about like different totem animals, and how he himself is an elk totem, but his brother follows the bear, or somebody he knows follows the I think tiger. There's tons of different, I mean, there'd be equivalent, the lynx, we'll say, or so there's they follow different kinds of animals, and if you follow the animal and you kind of focus yourself on that animal, you start being able to replicate to an extent that animal's abilities, because of your kind of your spiritual connection that you form. Yeah, but if there's something specific you wanted or were interested in, you guys could jump in a conversation, or I mean, they're more than happy if you want to jump into a conversation or just learn about plants or how to make a bow or what, like anything. So,
Well, after my absolutely atrocious performance in the last few attempts of tracking things, I think that's where I'm gonna go.
yeah,
Tracking is not my strong suit.
there's definitely some people talking, about. I mean, it's probably braggadocious about it, where it's like, oh, I tracked a deer 20 miles when I was hunting it. No, that's nothing. I tracked an elk 40 miles. And
I failed to track over a dozen captives that were not stealthy when going through the woods.
then somebody's like, I can track a fish on land. So I was like, that's not even a thing. You say it's not a thing? Oh, I thought it was a thing.
Like you noticed a couple of prints in the sand next to the brook, like where it flopped out and went back in.
Right.
So I'm gonna sit with the trackers. I'm gonna send Sable to go play with some littles that don't seem to already be.
Oh yeah,
playing.
for sure. There's if there's kids that are like, they'll be distracted. Like you are people that they don't see. So like everybody's kind of looking at you as you're walking around, like listening in.
I probably
Oh,
look like a little.
That's true. But there's definitely kids that are like before you
Metal
even
bear.
get it, like there's kids that just fucking jump on top of Sable. Like, it's a bear thing. It's so fluffy.
Be good. Don't
Clang,
bite
clang.
anybody.
Dong, dong, dong.
It's so cute.
Don't bite anybody. Don't hit anybody. Play nice. And then I'm gonna go to the trackers. Yeah, she's like, ah.
Like, yeah.
They're petting her, and she's like,
petting them.
Ashran will hang out to make sure the kids and the bear are safe and doodle.
From each other.
from
Uh-huh.
each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kelly will probably jump in. Just like, I'm okay with this bow, but I was trying to figure out some like additional tips to get like a little more spring or endurance out of her bow or his bow. And after that, anybody doing something sort of like acrobatic, because I feel like I need to move a little better through the environment.
I mean, there's, like I said, there's obstacle courses, which could be
Yeah.
argued that it's kind of athletics, but you could use it to train acrobatically as well, different stuff. So
Yeah, treat it less as an endurance thing,
like
and
tumbling,
free run.
it's like hopping over, tumbling, hopping over, tumbling, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, but it's just a couple of people that they're, they're just like, oh well, yeah, well, if you're following, the first thing is to look for identifying markers. If it's something in particular, like if it's a deer, or you want to find the hoof marks. Where if it's like a bear, then you want to like the paw and claw marks, and so it's the first thing is finding tracks. It's generally the easiest, but there's also less subtle clues like broken branches, and then pieces of fur. So it all really depends on what you're looking to track, but so and yeah, they'll discuss with you, and
Say if I'm nearby, I'd even jump in like, yeah, sometimes when the deer are rutting, the males, they like mark up trees with antlers.
if animals, if if bucks are or any kind of animal is running, usually you don't want to be nearby.
Well, no.
There's a really big animal with antlers that you don't want to be anywhere near during rutting season because it is 1,500 pounds of horny rage.
This is the first time I've wished I had a lower nature score to justify not knowing what the hell they're talking about.
I saw one go through I run through a tree, and I mean like a tree. They're terrifying, and I'm a dragon. Yeah, so that you'll do that. You'll observe the kids playing, and I mean, at some point, some of them are playing, and then some point, some of them like sitting down next to you and like are like, "What are you trying?" Like, they start like climbing on you too, because it's kids.
Because it's kids.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, what do you do?" like on your shoulders, like
Over the
punch-
shoulder, yeah.
It's probably like just whatever is around.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's Jimmy!
Uh-huh.
She's trying Jimmy.
Why does that bear have Jimmy's head in her mouth?
They look up at Jimmy's bed like, "No, bear, don't eat him."
Aw.
Aw. Eat is a strong word. Sable doesn't have to eat. He just wants to bite head. Just wants to fucking bite heads off. Typical
Not
Sable.
off. Just wants to
Typical
play.
Sable.
Fucking
Yeah,
Sable.
and then yeah, they'll be more than happy to help you, be like, "Oh, well, we'll see, the problem is, well, the wood you're using, while stronger, well, you can see here that it has a couple knots in it, so you want, something more elastic, like strong but elastic. So I'd recommend a different kind of wood. We have that kind of wood, and like so do this, and you also want to use there's oils and stuff that you can use that they maintain the wood while also keeping its flexibility.
I always thought one with a bit more of a recurve would be useful as well. Just also take up less space, so it would stow away more easily.
They can. I'm old fashioned. I learned how to eat on a big one, and that's just what I use. But I've seen people. There have been people that have used recurve bows, and I mean, it all depends. I mean, it's if you're using standing firing versus on horseback or on some kind of mount on bareback, like
Like hide the sidearm and like pull my coat over it.
so just it depends on. But if you're not intending on using on a I mean, we could never made a recurve bow, but I'm sure I could pull it off. Well, now it's a challenge to see if I can make one.
Yeah, I'd like to join in with that actually.
Yeah, no,
I'll
they'll
spend some time with that while we're here. Maybe do like, even if it doesn't functionally change anything, it's just like a style change on my bow. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, they'll even, well, yeah, and this is what you want to do, if based on this, and maintain it, and especially if it's a recurve, because it has extra bends on it, and so that's extra stress points. So you want to use some kind of oil on it so that it doesn't crack.
Don't leave it strong.
Yeah, stuff like that. And there's arrow stuff. Yeah, so you'll go about that. couple hours, and then there'll be, kids will start wandering off, and there'll be kind of a, not exactly a dinner bell, but kind of a call for dinner, and everybody kind of stops what they're doing, and some of the big beefier guys like just carry the log, like huge logs over, and just place them down, like there's kind of a big fire going, and there's cooking going on of roasting of animals and stew and whatnot. And so your guests, so they'll allow you to go first to get, they'll serve you food first and get you situated, and then everybody will get kind of their food, and kind of once everybody sat down and started eating, Erewhon will stand up and kind of address everybody, be like, obviously you have all seen that we have guests today, which we are always happy to have. If they come in peace, obviously. I have received a letter from Reginald Traskier. He is rebuilding Drakenvale Village currently, and I assume intends on repairing Drakenvale Castle. And has put out an invitation to any of us who would like to go back to what was once our capital, effectively. I know for some of you are so us old folks know that we were there, but most of you aren't old enough to know that Drakenvale Village and Drakenvale Castle was the capital of our country some 50 years ago. And if anybody is interested in going back and helping renovate the village, then these individuals are willing to escort anybody who wants to go back or wants to go on their way back. So discuss it among yourselves. Let me know in the morning, and then so we can give them a head count, and then make your decisions. Like a lot, like it'll kind of like, it was probably very quiet while she's talking, but then like once she stops talking, like she'll sit back down and like kind of have like a quiet conversation with the person beside her, and then like eating her food, and like kind of conversations spark up in all of the different groups, and they start talking to each other, and it's a big thing. And some of the kids like run over, like, you've seen it? What does it look like? Is it big?
Catherine holds up a drawing.
What are those? Like pointing to the houses.
Those are houses.
What are houses?
More permanent tents
Ooh.
with harder walls.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I'm in love with these children, and if anything were to happen to them, I would kill everything around me.
And then yourself doing Rosa. I've known this dog.
These children
are precious.
children are precious.
Ooh. Which one do you live in?
I don't.
Why not?
We live in a giant truck.
What's a truck?
Flies.
It's like a
It's like
like
a
a
really
big-
large cart.
yeah, it's like a big
Ooh.
cart, but you don't need a horse, and you can well, the one that we have, you can live in it.
That's cool. I don't think my mom would let me live in a truck, whatever a truck is.
That's okay. It's better to live in a house.
Or just outside.
That's cool. I can do a drawing. You like draw in the dirt. That's me. I'm breathing fire.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. My dad just says I shouldn't breathe fire too much. So I can burn down the woods.
That makes sense. You should.
Okay,
listen to your dad.
bye. And like
Children.
yeah.
Regina's doing the.
Ashton
Matt.
doesn't exactly know what to do with children.
Max is just standing there. People are like, what are you?
Max.
I am Max. What do you do? I kill things. Sometimes. Ooh, are you strong? Yes. You beat my dad? Probably. My dad's really strong. Good for him. Like,
Can you beat my dad? Running probability.
Based on your relative strength, yes.
In 80.3% of scenarios.
if I cheat, that chances go up to 97%.
I'm gonna like
Um,
sidle over to Max and be like, hey, if you observe these folks, do you think you'll be able to do what they do?
What do you mean? They're
Well,
identifying of plants and building of ballistic weapons, or
gonna point
climbing
to where
over
they
tree
were-
trunks, or
Well, those things too, but I'm gonna point over to where they were doing like the flower creation, like the basic magic, like that stuff.
theoretically.
Hmm.
I haven't learned it yet. It's once again the data has not been uploaded into my database, and I don't know if there's a quantifiable way of figuring out magic.
I mean, Tel'Darim do technically run on arcane engines, don't they? Like an arcane core.
Yeah,
So you could possibly figure out a way to channel energy through that. Sort of like Azrin does with their monk abilities, like accessing ki. But arcane instead of ki. I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
maybe.
As I'm walking by with like a plate of food and just randomly interjecting in the conversation. Mushida, you want that croissant? They're surprisingly good.
Sure,
mean,
I bet.
Technically, I could do what each of you does since you are in the database.
I'm gonna like shift my eyes over to Sable and then back. Interesting.
Traziel thought that the group needs something more melee oriented. So that Azrin does not have to.
Was not wrong.
Since Callie is very good at getting hit. He must be half elf.
Yeah, it's half orc, half elf.
Maybe you should study the barbarians here. I hear they can take a lot more of a pounding.
Maybe I can endure with 2 hit points. instead of one.
um, yeah, dinner's nice. Like it's like different kind of mushrooms and carrots, and it's like a stew essentially with a couple different kinds of animal meats in it. But I mean, it's everybody here. It's about 40 or 50 people. Like you don't get an exact number because people are moving around. It's kids running around. But there's definitely there are kind of like the group that's in Dragonvale Keep, or not Dragonvale Village right now. Like there is definitely a there seems to be less half dragons. Like those are less common, but there are still a couple half dragons. There's probably about a dozen or 2 dozen kobolds and just as many dragon born, and like probably like half a dozen half dragons, a varying ethnicities. I think they're like maybe one of them's human, but some of them are different other kinds
gotcha.
of they're all humanoid, but
I'm half dragon and the other half is dragon.
like there's
See, my mom was a blue dragon, but my dad was a gold dragon. So when I use my breath weapon, it freezes things into precious metals.
Yeah, but there's what, like a half Odonta, half dragon, 2 Iraq, like half Iraq, half dragons.
Oh, that's a spooky combo.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there is a human. There's also an elf.
I'll sidle up to Callie and just, I love this place.
Such a broad mix is interesting. Coming from mixed background myself, I enjoy the many wonderful and strange combinations that our world throws together through various means.
Obvious, a lot of forethought and planning, not at all random.
No, it's like that's how evolution works. It's a tapestry of life. Yes.
Exactly. It's not chaos. It's the uncertainty. Like, but yeah, you guys will have dinner. They'll probably, like, some of the groups, like the kids will, start. Any of the grown-ups that were training will go back to, they'll continue what they were doing with their training. Making bows and whatnot, because they weren't necessarily done for the day, but not as hard because now their stomachs are full. So it's more of the, like, after action review discussion. We'll say all of the kids will, a couple hunters or whatever we'll have all the kids around the fire, and I'll tell them this story of hunting some big deer and whatever. Like, you're sure it's mostly true. Like, but wrestling a deer with their bare hands and off a cliff or something, and you're like, all right, I think some of this sounds a little fabricated, but
the bit we missed is they're a wild shaped druid, so when they say bare hands,
they mean bare hands. Yeah. And there's actually, fuck it, there's actually like some druids that participate in the storytelling by shifting into animal forms.
Yeah. The deer ran
So
away.
like it's like this is a deer, and it's like the deer, and the guy's like faking chilling, and they're like, and then a bear came out, and then somebody turns into a bear, and then they're fake wrestling around. And it
Also,
had-
what a great way of being able to set up tracking classes.
That's true.
Just walk on, just turn into a deer for a bit, do what a deer does, and then be a humanoid again and walk back and be like, all right, and where did the deer go?
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that. That's valid. Yeah, but there's more stuff if you guys wanted to, do more sitting around and discussions about different kind of things. And
Azerin is just going to find a spot that is good for both of them and Max to be able to power down for the night.
somebody will actually come over at some point. Be like, Aeronaut directed me to ask if you we have some spare sleeping quarters if you would all like to sleep. You don't have to if you would like to sleep out under the proverbial stars, as it were. You are more than welcome to, but if you prefer to sleep inside something, we do have some enclosures for you to sleep in if you would like.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Please.
My
Cal's gonna
companions
sleep out
are
by the fire.
unused to sleeping rough, except for Callie. Callie, I am not certain, but we'll see what they want.
Yeah, Callie will sleep pretty much anywhere. It is actually gonna. It's a big encampment and relatively safe, so I am definitely just going to enjoy being able to sleep outside and fucking relax about it. Like, not having to just be like on guard all fucking night, or like, trust that the two people that are with you, like nobody fell asleep, or just.
I'm gonna
Right.
address Sable.
It kind of feels more like home, really.
Yeah.
Like they're not caravans, but like it's sort of loose rustic living, and this feels
Right.
good.
Yeah, Azerin is used to the city. It is probably very obvious.
I'm gonna address Sable and just, girl, you go stay with Callie, keep watch.
And like Callie's gonna spend the rest of the evening like
Ah,
Starts
chatting with Osrin, and then like occasionally having Ember like bouncing around and just doing whatever the fifth
starts
member wants to do.
gnawing on Callie's head.
I can 100% see Sable chasing Ember and never being able to catch them.
I was gonna say it'd be funny if like
Pounce,
because if
nothing
Sable
there.
was an actual bear, because it's like, oh, Callie's just enraptured in conversation with Osrim, and then like just occasionally reaches up and wrings out his hair for the troll.
Right. It's just it's motor oil, obviously. Or lubricant
Oh.
of some kind.
So Callie starts exploring a new look. So in the morning, yes, Callie will have this like very sort of sleek, like swept back, kind of oiled looking hair with like a cascade of those ringlets down the back.
Probably not actually motor oil, but yeah, there's probably some kind of
Looking very Megara from Hercules. where it's swept back, but then it's just like
yeah, but if you want to sleep in a tent, then Max is indifferent. They're like, okay. I just
Azerin
stand.
has issues.
I just stand anyway. But I can go stand in a tent.
You'd say it's a slightly low one. Just you just see the top of it with Max's face.
Like Mother used to make. Wait. Does that work here? No. Yeah, so you guys you'll be able to there's probably other people that just are, I mean, there's kids that probably pass out during story time and get blankets thrown over them, and the fire starts dwindling down. There's obviously a person like keeping track of the fire, shuffles kids a little bit out of the way in a more like grassy areas. I mean, like Callie will definitely notice that it does quiet down. Everybody kind of goes into their tents, or but there's definitely there are people on guard. You'll see occasional people. It could be any, because I mean, it could be druid, it could be it doesn't have could be any of the three classes like that are kind of walking around, kind of patrolling and checking on people, especially the kids, that just kind of zonked out in the middle of story time. Because it's, they are one big community, so it's not like they're worried about the kid running off. Yeah, you'll all sleep, and we will end it there for today. You'll figure out how many people are going, and when they want to go. Next game. So thanks for watching, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
You're the best.
We love you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And now you get to listen to the outro song. And that's the outro song. Yeah.